So what if the world's most famous love story was actually a lie? That's the explosive question right at the heart of the fictional drama, The Taj Story, a film that literally puts the history of the Taj Mahal on trial. We're going to break down what happens.
And really, this is the question that just hangs over the entire story. It's asked by the film's main character, Vishnu Das. For 30 years, he's told the official story of the Taj Mahal. But this one moment of doubt, this single question, well, it's about to cost him pretty much everything.
So here's how it all kicks off. Vishnu, after being pushed by a filmmaker's questions and maybe having a little too much to drink, gets secretly recorded. And in this recording, he's questioning whether Shah Jahan even built the Taj. The video goes viral, and just like that, his entire world implodes.
And this is where things just escalate fast. He loses his job, his reputation. He's shamed publicly. But here's the thing. Instead of backing down, he decides to fight back. He takes his late-night rant and turns it into a full-blown legal battle, filing what's called a public interest litigation. It's basically a way for any citizen to argue a case for the public good, and he does it himself, turning his own crisis into a trial about history itself.
So once he's in the courtroom, his whole case boils down to these three massive questions. He's asking, where's the real proof that Shah Jahan built this from the ground up? Why is this the version of history we teach our kids in school? And, maybe most intriguingly, what is going on in those 22 sealed rooms in the basement? The first battleground in this trial, it's the monument itself. Both Vishnu and the government's lawyers argued that the architecture proves their point. It's like they're both looking at the same stones, but reading two completely different stories.
And this is where it gets really fascinating, because you see how the exact same features are seen in totally opposite ways. Vishnu points to a music room and is like, wait a minute, who needs a concert hall in a tomb? The defense says, oh, that was for the royal entourage. Vishnu sees Hindu symbols on the dome. The defense points to Islamic inscriptions on that very same piece. And Vishnu lands this punch in court with this super sharp, kind of sarcastic question. He's using it to highlight what he sees as a total clash of identities within the building's design, basically suggesting its features don't add up to it being just a mausoleum.
Okay, so after battling it out over the stones of the building, the fight shifts from stone to paper. Now the whole case hinges on the written record, as both sides pull out historical documents that they claim will prove their case once and for all.
And at the absolute center of this paper trail is the Bad Shandama. This is the official court history written during Shah Jahan's reign. So you'd think it would be the final word, right? Well, both sides agree it's the most important document, but they could not disagree more on what it actually means.
And this, right here, is the absolute core of the disagreement. Vishnu reads the text and says it describes a grand, dome-crested mansion that was chosen for the burial. The defense says, no, it says the land was acquired from Jai Singh to build something new. The entire debate could come down to how you translate just a couple of key words.
But the defense comes back swinging with what they say is the smoking gun: official royal decrees. They present these documents that seem to show Shah Jahan personally managing the supply chain for tons of marble and stonecutters. They argue this is clear-cut evidence of a massive, brand-new construction project that he was in charge of.
But then, Vishnu hits back with something pretty shocking: a letter from Shah Jahan's own son, Aurangzeb, written just a few years after the Taj was supposedly finished. In it, Aurangzeb is complaining about serious leaks and the need for big repairs. And this leads Vishnu to ask, how could a brand new, magnificent wonder of the world already be falling apart?
This brings us to the final phase of the trial, where we move beyond old documents and into the world of hard science. This is where Vishnu makes his most direct challenge yet, using modern technology to question the official timeline.
And here it is. Vishnu presents his bombshell evidence. It's a report from an American archaeologist who carbon dated a wooden door from the Taj way back in the 70s. And the result? Well, it was stunning. The test dated the wood to 1359, making it roughly 300 years older than Shah Jahan's time.
Of course, the prosecution immediately jumps on this. They attack the science, saying, hey, one piece of wood? That's not reliable. It could have been contaminated. And crucially, they argue the test was done without any official permission, which in their eyes makes the whole thing illegitimate and inadmissible.
So, as the film's trial wraps up, you're not given a neat little answer. Instead, you're left wrestling with these huge unanswered questions. What about those sealed rooms? Why were more modern scientific tests blocked? And what do we make of those ambiguous historical texts?
It all just hangs there, unresolved.
And in the end, the Taj Story shows us that this whole debate is about so much more than just one building. It's a gripping story that forces all of us to ask a much bigger question. How do we decide what's true about the past? Who gets to write that story? And what happens when one lone voice dares to challenge a story we all thought we knew?